Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this one. I am very, very excited about this actually. It's been something I've wanted to kind of go through for a while now, and this video is going to be a, I guess, a look back, a reaction, a think about a, a video that an old band of mine did. We were very young when we did this, but we had some success, I guess. We thought we were quite successful in bits and pieces, and influenced a lot of bands that went on to do some very very cool things. And yeah, we it was a hard time. It was a hard time, you know. I don't think it's ever really been like easy as a musician, as a singer, or playing in a band. We didn't really know what we were doing. We sort of feeling it out as we sort of went. Um, but I'm gonna play you a song from an old band I was in called Days in December, and this was our first. Just making sure that's right. Yeah, this was our first music video that we did, and it was really DIY. And we had like no budget. We had some friends. I think we gave well. So I'll talk you through the production, which was actually done by friends of our bassist, I believe, and they filmed everything and they made it look really cool. They directed it. I sorted out the location actually. So where this video was shot in the foyer of the ECC, which is the Ealing Christian Center, which is a church. It's a big what do they call it? It's not evangelical. It's like maybe I don't even know if it's gospel, but it's a big church. It used to like It used to be an old theater, so I just wanted something which had a bit of class to it, and it was in the foyer. It just looked. I just thought the whole place looked cool. I think like maybe one day, I'm sure one day I want to do a video on the stage at this theater, like at this church. Sorry, I mean it was a theater, but yeah, it's a great place, and they were really good about letting a rock band like us, some whippersnappers in, and it was very cool. It was a very very cool day. I was very sick this day. I think I had the start of like tonsillitis. I think I was a postman at the time, and it was freezing cold. It was actually snow outside, and I remember the day very very well. But let's get started with this. Now this it starts off with this like really cool like lead guitar part, and it always brings back something to mind when I hear it. God, look how skinny I was. I thought I was quite muscly then. I really did. Like I mean I'm not the biggest I've ever been now, but I thought I was quite big then. I've really fit I think I still got that t-shirt somewhere, and I really fill it out like crazy now. It's just so funny, and how short my hair was, how baby faced we all looked. Um yeah, like one, two, three of the guys in the video that are dads now. It's we were so young, and we really this song was on our uh Countless Hours Making Waves. We had the most ridiculous titles as a band, but this was on our Countless Hours Making Waves record, and it was done after most of the record was recorded. So we recorded a bunch of songs, and I think we wrote this one after, and then we'd gone back and recorded this one song. So I think we spent like maybe 2 or 3 days recording this, and then it was mixed. And I have a lot of fond memories. Like we really felt that we were onto something with this, and like we really enjoyed. I loved recording. Like I really enjoyed the recording process and getting music back, because we were recording with John Mitchell, and it it always sounded good when we went to Outhouse Studios. Really, really loved it. I remember this video as being a real mission. Like it really, I felt that I put a lot into this because I felt so sick, and I think I was running a fever, and I'd done a shift as a postman in the morning in the snow. Like it was pretty tough to get through the day, and then and doing a shift at work as a postman, carrying all this stuff around, and then knowing that you have to then go and show off later on in the evening. Later on in like that morning, because I finished early, and then off you go to perform and in front of the cameras. And yeah, and they sort of made us do things again and again and again. But I learned a lot about continuity here, which I took through the rest of my career. Whenever I was doing music videos, I did a lot of learning on this shoot about where I was standing, how I was positioned, if I had a move, that I kept doing it. It's very, very important for the editing process, because it can either make or, well, whether or not a clip is going to be kept or discarded can largely depend on where you continue or discontinue to stand, or how you continue to stand. I remember there was one video shoot that I was on, and the directors were like, it's almost a carbon copy of himself. And it was, I think that comes from some theatre training and everything, but what was ruining stuff was that the guitarist in one shot would be here, then he would be here, and then he'd be here, and there's me who was just rooted here doing the same moves again and again and again, because the importance of the continuity for the viewing and stuff. I don't think it really mattered that much in this video, because you'll see it's kind of a bit scattered and stuff. Anyway, let's have a listen. So all the guys, they've got the guitars up quite high, which is kind of funny to me. Not Ian Reese, like Ian, the tall guy with the blonde hair on the guitar. More for the fact Phil Kinman had his guitar up quite high for him, because he plays like Slash. He's got that thing in his fingers where he plays like Slash. Like he's just a phenomenal guitarist. But it was stylized. Like we were sort of in that sort of post-hardcore. We were trying to hop on this sort of wave of music that was coming out, like with Funeral for a Friend and stuff like that. Like we really had. But then we were sort of doing something of our own as well. It was all weird. Like our songs were odd, like screaming, singing and stuff. But I never quite understood it. But I think the fact that I didn't understand what we were doing really kind of inadvertently led to our sound, if that makes sense. I know that's weird, but I never quite understood what we were sort of about. I just trying to get by really, and I hope people liked what I was singing. Turning left to get back to the start. If now we're gone. This is more than you deserve. Swallow the pain. I'm not aware, and I found it again, but the answers never came. I like the tone in my voice. I mean, I do sound quite young. I can see how my voice has matured and thickened. It's got a bit more richness now that I've sort of gotten older. But if you notice the microphone, the 55, like this, I did have an actual 55 here. Like I was taking those things on the road 4 days in December. Like it was a thing of mine. Like I was the guy that sang with the 55. I didn't let anyone else touch it. Same with now. I don't let anyone else sing through my microphones. But I was a complete germaphobe. I was a complete germaphobe back then. Like if people were sick, I was like, "Ah," I just really like stay away. Um, but yeah, the guy on the screen now. I spoke to him the other day actually. He's I still consider him a really good friend. He's Frankie Torpy. He actually taught me so much about the guitar in my early years of being a musician. We used to jam together. I used to spend so much time with him, like, because he was like in walking distance of my house, and we used to write songs together. We used to jam together, and he would really push me in my vocals. He would introduce me to new music. He would keep me up really late just playing guitar. Like he was a night owl, like he really was, and really messed with my circadian rhythms, I think, because I like had like back when we first started playing, like, I think I still had a paper round when we started playing together, and he would be like, "Oh, let's play like till like 3 in the morning," and I'd be up, at silly o'clock, like sorry, doing a paper round, and yeah, I don't know, but we had a great time. We always had great times together, and then uh we started a band called Sound Sculpture, and Ian Reese, the tall blonde guitarist, broke his leg on stage. There's a whole other thing when we were in Sound Sculpture, and then Days in December came out of that. We took a whole bunch of time out, rewrote loads of our songs, and we stole Rob Turnbridge, our bassist, from a band called RX, and we stole Phil Kinman from RX as well. And we had to kick a good friend of ours out of the band as well. That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. But we were young. We were young. I always like that bit. I'm just gonna rewind it here. When it goes on grounded sky, the camera like does this poof, and everyone sort of like stomps down. I really don't know what the lyrics mean. I mean, on grounded sky we come and go, and I won't take this blood and romance anymore. Go more. We come and go, and I won't take this blood and romance anymore. Go more. I mean, it's tenuous. I mean, it's really tenuous, but people loved it. Like they really did. Like we would be at we just had the band had an energy about it. I think that was it. That the band just had a real kind of wild, almost unpredictable, scatty sort of energy about it. It was all kind of disjointed, which I didn't really understand. I couldn't write songs like this now. I wouldn't want to write songs like this now. So like once Days in December became New Device, I was like, oh, thank God, some stability. I can kind of get my teeth into this, because I wasn't able to write any riffs like this kind of stuff. Like they were writing almost jazz to me in some ways. It was like just weird chords, very strange chords. Now we start to, you see, so this guy down here, I don't actually know who this was, but we start to introduce some people in. So we brought in our girlfriends, sat them around the sides, and they were just told to look blankly, just look blankly, and it kind of worked. It was interesting. It's kind of cool. Break down these walls. Now it's time to tear this all apart. Rebuild what once was ours. Oh man, I forgot she was in this. Our friend Anna, and she used to take some really great photos of us. Really good photographer, and she came down for this as well. And that was brilliant. That was so good that she was there. More than you deserve. Tried it, my pathetic attempt at a goatee. Oh, Dan. Oh, mate. I love it. Live for the kill, not for despair. Hope is rising again when we break through the rain. There's one guy sat there, and he was James Fletcher. Where is he? Can I do it? Will it work? That's Emma. Is it gonna let me do it? Oh, I can't get to it. Sorry. Hang on. Never mind. But he was the first drummer that I had in. He was my next door neighbor for some time actually, and he was my first drummer in the Smoking Aces, which is really cool. There's another project I had going. Sorry, there's so much I'm thinking about this. Where the light comes in, when it goes, psh, we made these like floodlights out of they were garden lights, so what things that you put as like on sensors, like sensor lights, and we made a switch, so if you stepped on it, the lights went on. Stepped on it, took your foot off it, the lights went off. I don't think it was particularly safe. In fact, we had this manager for a little while, and he saw it, took one look at it, and he pulled the plug off of it, and he's like, "You're not using that. It's so dangerous." Had a metal casing on the button box. I don't know how safe it was. It was really effective though. It would light up. It lit up the Wedgwood rooms. 2 lights. We put them either side of the drum kit. Whoosh, it would light up like a 500-600 capacity venue. It was great, absolutely brilliant. But we were punk rock. I mean, we were a step away from just being punk rockers, really. Like we were just doing things out of favors. We were sleeping on floors. This band, we toured like crazy. Together around the sky, we come and go. I won't take this part in romance anymore. Bit of slow motion action there. Love it. Yeah, that sort of the vocal that I'm using it till the end of time, till the end. Just that little bit of like till the end of time. So I still had that sort of. I was sort of learning about the sweetness of my voice as well, like experimenting with different bits and pieces of vocal techniques, my vocal range, all that kind of stuff, and. Yeah, I was very, very proud of this recording, and the songs are pretty progressive, really. They're pretty progressive tracks, but yeah, it's good. It's good looking back. Me just wishing the whole thing was over there, like, push. It was a long day. It was a really long day. You hear these, the influence of Phil Kimman in here. I mean, he was really into, well, he still is really into like Metallica, Skid Row, all these kind of bands, and having the harmonized guitars in there, that was really cool. Like, I hadn't really played with many musicians that were into doing that at the time, and the fact that Phil managed to shoehorn that into the song is pretty cool. Just have a listen to it here. Man, and my jeans were very baggy back then as well. It's just so funny, like the passage of time, and we never did an album. Days in December, like Days in December, never did an album. I think that was one of our biggest regrets, maybe. But we used to argue about music so much because I think that was what I kind of concluded about the band, is that we never really had a direction in where we wanted to go as a band. So we were kind of always pulling in multiple directions, which kind of made our sound, but it took us so long to write music. Oh, it took us so long to write together. And that was one of the biggest pain points. And the leadership of the band, I was not the leader of the band. I was not the leader back then. And I didn't want to be the leader. I certainly didn't want to be the leader musically, because I didn't know what the hell we were doing musically. So I was just kind of along for the ride and seeing where I fit into it, and seeing where I didn't want to be fighting with the guitars. A lot of other bands that we would tour with, they would have very complex things that they were writing, and I always felt that the vocals and guitars never really danced with each other. It was always like a fight, which I guess kind of made for some of this like weird tension and dissonance with things. But for me, I was never really into that. I wanted to really have a good flow with it, and Days in December really never had much of a consistent flow with the and maybe the later record, Deleted Scenes. We started to really kind of hone in our song writing craftsmanship. But a lot of the time it was very difficult to figure out songs which actually made sense to an audience, I guess. I remember them playing. I had glandular fever this one time, and I say this one time, it was enough. Trust me, like it was weeks and weeks and weeks. And when I started to get better, I still couldn't sing, but I came back to rehearsal and I sat there listening to what they were doing. And they'd been writing while I'd been ill. And they played me the song and they said, well, what do you think? And I was like, I think it just sounds like a load of riffs strung together, which it was. I was like, where's the chorus? was like, genuinely, where's the chorus? Like, I'm not trying to be an idiot here. Like, where's the chorus? And they were like, oh, it's this bit which goes. I was like, okay, well, when does that come back in? And they go, it doesn't. I was like, well, how the hell is that a chorus? It's not a chorus, it's a part. You've just got a load of parts and you strung them together. That's bad songwriting. So I had to like force them to bring this one part, if it truly was a chorus. Like the song had 2 choruses, and I forget what song it was actually. But this was the sort of fighting we did. That's how we fought with each other. We fought about music. We never fought about money. We never fought about. We didn't fight. Well, we fought about like commitment to the group, and we fought about touring and stuff like that. We fought about music. I mean, we really cared. We really, really cared about the band. We were young, and we had a lot of energy. Like our live shows were very, very energetic as well. But yeah, I think we're gonna leave it there for this one. I will do some more things on. I've got another video to to analyze and go through, called Five Kings. That was a very fun one. That was on our deleted scenes record, and yeah, it's so it was a very fun time. It was pretty hard. Like we really did burn ourselves out a great deal, but that was part of it. That was part of our journey. Anyway, thank you for supporting. Thank you for everything. Take care of yourselves. I look forward to doing these. Look forward to doing more of these. I'm glad to be set up in my new place, and very glad to be talking to you guys like this. Much love to you all. Take care. Have yourselves a great time, whatever you're doing. Much love. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye bye.